So today I want to bring you a very requested review of the Neutrogena Skin Clearing Oil-Free Makeup. This is the Micro Clear. And as you guys can see, I've used all of it. I have about, I've probably been through 10 to 20 bottles of these. And I'll be honest, I have not used these recently. I don't know if the formula has changed within like the past year. But I did want to bring you a review of this because recently a lot of people have been asking about it. And it was something that from age 14 to 16 I used exclusively. There was absolutely nothing else. So first, because I want to talk a little bit about it, does it actually help you with your acne? What's going on? So it says skin clearing makeup. And the reason that they claim that is because it has salicylic acid. Now the salicylic acid in this ingredient is only 0.5%. And I did a kind of video on salicylic acid, so if you have questions about what it is, where it comes from, what it does, you can click the helicopter guy right here, because he's just going to fly around and buzz around like a really cool helicopter. But that'll kind of explain salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is meant to clear up breakouts on the skin. I personally do not think it is the most effective. The most, I think, over-the-counter they can sell is 2%. This only has 0.5, so I definitely think they could have put more in here to be a little bit more effective. But it is better than nothing, and the reason why is because if you use like a salicylic wash, you cleanse your face, but then the wash leaves. The salicylic acid leaves. It's not going to stay on your skin. What's nice about this is that it will actually, if you're wearing your foundation all day, it will actually stay on your skin. So theoretically, it should work a little bit better. So theoretically, that should be okay, but then again, for salicylic acid, like I said, I don't think it's the most beneficial. There are other ingredients here. Whoopsies. There you go. There's some little super spiffy ingredients on like a little book right here, which is about 2 pages. It's a nice little short 2-page book for y'all. And basically a summary of what it is the drug facts. It contains water, a couple different silicones, and talc. Now, silicones are not good for your skin. Silicones, almost 99% of the time, will break you out. This does not contain pure silicone, but it contains other cones, which is like clomethicone, slow chorus silicone. And I honestly think that, if anything, those are undoing the good things that the salicylic acid is doing, because everyone that I've spoken to has told me that silicones have broken them out, and I have noticed them when wearing foundations that contain silicones that they have kind of done that to me. Now, everyone's skin is different, so of course, you know, maybe air breaks you out, you know what I mean, which actually wouldn't break you out at all, but there are different things that break different people out, and silicones is one of those that I don't think is good for a lot of people. So if you've noticed that, or if you're worried about it, I'd say stay away from foundations that have those ingredients. It contains talc, a couple different benzonates, PEG4 basically. It does contain silicone. Silicone polyether primer. Oh, that's a nice little mouthful. It contains synthetic wax, stuff like that. So overall, it contains a couple of other ingredients too, but overall, even though it has salicylic acid in it, it is formulated to be a very covering foundation. And I would say that this is medium to medium full coverage. Not super full coverage, but medium to medium full. And the thing, that's kind of the coverage, how it goes, but honestly, even from my experience, I don't think that it helped more than with acne. I felt like it was very, very suffocating to the skin. It was definitely, you could feel that you had foundation on. It wasn't like what I'm wearing today. I don't actually feel like I have a ton of foundation on. I feel very light. My skin can breathe. With this, I would wear it all day long. I felt like my skin couldn't breathe. Now, did the silicones break me out? Not a ton. I think that the fact that I wore makeup and was covering it broke me out. You can click on a video right here that explains if makeup breaks you out and why you should always take off your makeup at night and stuff like that, because makeup will clog your pores even if it's non-comedogenic. Long story short, basically I feel like anything that's bad in here cancels out anything that's good, like silicones and versus salicylic acid. The other thing about this is that the shade range, they go very, very yellow. I think that there are about 14 different shades. I could be wrong. That sounds like too many. I don't know how many shades there are. I was going to say 14, but I believe that that's the Revlon Color Creation, Color Stay one. I don't know how many there are. I do not think they have a huge variety though, because they are run very, very yellow. I have a little bit more pink and more red in my skin. These ran very, very yellow, and you look like a big old banana when you're walking down the street. So I had to use a ton of this, like a ton, and I just wouldn't put on my face. I'd have to go down my neck, across my neck, and to the back, on like everywhere, otherwise it would show these big lines. So there was definitely not a color match for me. And if your skin runs yellow, I'd say look at it. If not, then I wouldn't recommend it. I never used a primer with this. I don't know how it would react with a primer. I think that a primer would be better if this is something that you're already using or that you want to use, because the primer would help be a barrier for some of these silicones that are really bad in there. Well, there goes the phone. What I was going to say, so a primer maybe. I would not recommend, when I wore it, sometimes I powdered, sometimes I didn't. I would not recommend a ton of powder just because it will get a little bit cakey. The finish of this foundation is not completely matte. It does have a little bit of shine. Do you need a powder? No. For some instances, I would say okay, but as you guys can see, it's not completely mattified, but it's not like a dew or a satin finish, or a really dewy finish, so I don't think you need one. You could use one, but be careful because it could get cakey. The other thing about this is that after about 2 to 3 hours, I would notice little creases right here in my mouth, like where my smile lines and even underneath my eyes where those little lines are, and that was a little bit frustrating, so this does crease on you. In the shower, it's pretty easy to get off with like, or to remove, to get off. It's pretty easy to remove with a good makeup cleanser, maybe a good wipe or something like that. But overall, you do have to remove it because, like we said, it'll break you out if you don't. Even if it's non-comedogenic, and it says it's non-comedogenic, it'll still break you out if you're using something and you leave it on all day long. So how long is the wearability? Like I said, 2 to 3 hours. You will get a couple of little lines. I would say 6 to 8. Depending. I would say about 6 to 8. I don't think you could pull 8 or 10 with this. Like I said, it was something that I used in middle school and high school, so, or what would that be? Middle school? Yeah, middle school and high school. So it was kind of just like, you know, a little bit of covering there. But honestly, it was kind of a medium to full coverage. It did not cover, it covered the color well, but not really the texture. You could still see pimples and a bit of texture on my face, which I was not too pleased about. But overall, I think that they could really do better. Who would this work for if you do not have problems with silicones, which is very rare with acne, but if silicones do not aggravate your acne, I think that this product would be amazing for you just because it does have a tad bit of salicylic acid if your skin reacts well to salicylic. Now, if you've noticed that salicylic doesn't help you as much, or if you've noticed that, you know, putting a lot of makeup on will clog you out really fast, or if you notice that you are having reactions to silicones in your makeup, then this is definitely not the product for you. I don't know if they've come out with anything new. Like I said, this might be a year or so old just because I haven't used this in a really long time. They may have a new formulation, but when I checked online, the ingredients were basically the same. So that's honestly just what I think. And that's the other thing, is that I am not like a professional foundation analyst. Like, I do not have a degree in foundation ingredients analyzation, quantum foundation physics. You know what I mean? So this is just my opinion, this is just how I used it, and I want to put that out there because I know that sometimes people are commenting and like, just rude stuff, like you're not supposed to, you know, tell us what to do or what advice. I'm not telling you what to do, guys. I just wanted to share with you my opinion, my experience, and what I think. And I'd also love to hear your opinions and your experiences because everyone's different. Just because I say something doesn't mean it's right. Just because this is how it worked for me doesn't mean that it's going to work for someone else. So if you've tried this, please post a video response or a comment telling me if you liked it, if you didn't like it, how it worked for you, or if you know someone else who used it, have them post a video response, because the more reviews we have out there, the more people can understand their skin and how it'll react. So that's just my thoughts and opinions. I hope that this helped you guys. I tried to keep this video short, but it's probably already 7 to 10 minutes long. So I'm going to say bye-bye now, and I love you all very, very much. And I do hope that this review helped you a little bit. So I love you, and I will talk to you all in the next video, and watch your video responses. There's a big old kiss for you. Love you guys. Bye. And I can be a lady. If I was a kitty cat, then I'd sleep all day. My kitty's got a squirrel tail and it flaps around. And he's really mad because I just woke him up. I just woke him up. I've got a kitty and he has 6 toes. He's a polydactyl cat and he's really special. And if I was your girlfriend, he'd be your kitty too. He'd be your kitty too. And those are his flat tires. Yeah, you need a tire change. He's my little Chictopia. He's very magical. Very magical. You don't like me singing in your face. Hey, Mr. Boo Boo, yes, I think you're special. Hey, kitty cat, yeah, I like you. I don't know the words to this song. It's really, really tough. But now I'm gonna try to sing it, but I don't know what to say. It makes me really fancy when I dance around. I like to dance around.